It has been weeks of waiting for the conclusion of what has been a marathon of a Tour de Endurance season, but today, in the Funnel Marathon, fittingly enough, it has arrived. Welcome to the Tour de Endurance grand finale in Season 5. 2 teams in it to win it all, and the home heroes Grayscales are 19 points ahead of second place Team Sunrise. But there's so much more to unpack in the standings from 3rd on down. Everyone down to 10th can still play for the overall podium and direct auto qualification to Season 6. Everyone down to 15th can still play for top half, and that is playoff spots for the final auto qualification spot. But no matter what your team is playing for here today, it's going to be a new challenge in the Funnel Marathon. This event has never decided a season before in Tour de Endurance. We've had the Funnel Elimination Race, we've had Team Funnel Descent, but Funnel Marathon, new event here in Season 5. If you go back to Season 3 in the Funnel Rally, that had 16 marbles, 3 rounds of racing here, where either point marbles get points, and the marble that has the most points by the end of it across the 3 rounds gets the overall win. This, similar to that, with all 16 marbles are on the field at the same time, but no fewer than 10 rounds of racing for this championship decider. So it might be the most grueling event of all of them in what is already a stacked lineup of Endurance-based events in the season. And I don't think we'd have it any other way to decide what is going to be a surefire historic championship in Season 5. No matter how you slice it, in this season, history will be made. The Grayscales, the home team, the final home team in Tour de Endurance, they're going for the first host championship. They're going for the first double championship as the inaugural champions of Tour de Endurance. Team Sunrise, if they can pull off a miracle here and make this comeback, they would make the biggest comeback in Tour de Endurance history. They would also be the first team to win coming from the B League in the previous season. So, history in the making here today at the Funnel Marathon. And as the expedition teams finally finish their run here, it's really going to be an event of conserving your energy, choosing when you want to exert, when you want to push for higher placements in a current round, when you could be saving it for a later one. And there you can see the competitors that are represented for their teams, Shady and Warmth, playing for a championship, Beeswax all the way down to 10th place, playing for that overall podium. And trepidation is felt all across the stadium, but especially for the fans of Team Sunrise and the Grayscales. And there you can see the permutations for the championship. The Grayscales, if they do as little as finish 10th or higher, they will win the championship outright. Team Sunrise, they need to win the event or place second place to have any chance. If Team Sunrise wins the gold, they need the Grayscales 11th or lower, so not impossible, still very hard for them. And if Team Sunrise finishes second place, they need the Grayscales to finish dead last and nothing else. So, odds are in favor of the home team, but Team Sunrise, they're familiar with losing it all in their host season back in Season 2. So, we'll see how this goes as we already got started with the first round, and off they go here. Where is Grayscales and Team Sunrise? They seem to be mired in the mid pack as the Croissant crew get out to the best start here. Of course, remember, 10 rounds of racing, so the results of 1 round only aren't going to be that determinant, but you really want to get a good start here and have to avoid having to come back later in the event when you might be tired. The Grayscales, I see them in a huge gaggle with several yellow marbles in that orange funnel. While some marbles are well down there with Lagoon Platoon and those 2 white marbles of the White Knights and Popsicles battling there. Now Cheeseballs start to fall on through. Cheeseballs, after a great gold in the penalty shootout, they're still in contention for the top half, but they need a lot of help to do it. I see, is that the Crazy Chickens up there? That might be Team Sunrise up there, battling with the Party Crashers Wanderer and Esteemed Funnel Marble here. Grayscales, they're also fairly up there though, so they're doing what needs to be done. Is Shady the captain of the Grayscales also? If it's any harder for Team Sunrise, the Grayscales also won the Funnel Rally back in Season 3. The odds really stacked against our second place team, but they're going to give it their all here. The Grayscales now in a net second place. They're going to try to get knocked by Citrus Sprinter, but the Citrus Sprinters will still hold on. Now they've fallen through, and Grayscales are in the top 3 now for this first round. They're battling with the Citrus Sprinters and the Party Crashers. They will drop on through. That's 2 positions less. That could have been the worst possible outcome for Team Sunrise, who seems to be down there in the bottom half. That's 8th or 9th place, 10th place for Warm. That's going to be 7 points for them, but only 16 points for Wanderer. Then it's 15 and 14. So Grayscales still have the upper hand here with 3rd place for now. Still though, 9 rounds to go. Team Sunrise aren't out of it yet, but advantage has to go to Shady here. Party Crashers, of course, Wonder had not had the greatest of seasons here, but very strong in the funnels. Great Metal here could push them well into the top half. As it stands, they would jump up into 6th place in that playoff zone. Great Skills would win comfortably here as it stands. Of course, as it stands, they're getting a bronze, but anything can change here with just 1 round done in this finale event. And we get ready, lined up in round 2. How will Team Sunrise respond? They're on the back foot, both in this event and in the standings coming to this event. So, we'll see how good of a start they get to here. And they've already fallen through. The Grayscales are also once again off to a good start here. Team Sunrise needs to rely on those orange funnels further down to make a comeback here. No green funnels on this course, but I think you'd forgive these marbles for wanting to spin for a little less with 10 rounds of racing in this event. The Party Crashers are out to another lead here in that top funnel, and they're now battling with some other marbles. Couldn't quite keep themselves by themselves in those top funnels. The Grayscales now starting to fall apart a little bit. They're under Team Sunrise. They would like to see that to Team Sunrise and this warmth in this round, but still lots of this round to go here. The battling Grayscales battling several marbles now and trying to make a comeback in the upper pack here. Many marbles battling in the top. Team Mayhem, Party Crashers once again here. The Party Crashers really don't want, the Team Sunrise really don't want any of these marbles to get out to a great lead early on, because they want to maximize their chances of winning this event. They realistically need to win this event to have any chance. The Grayscales, it's going to be very hard to see them get 16th place, and we already see marbles peeling on through from the final funnel. Lagoon Platoon, I believe that is, or is that Team Mayhem? Team Mayhem has lead, and it's by a whole funnel now, and Team Sunrise, I believe, is already done here. Grayscales drop on through. It'll be a mid-pack finish for them in the second round, but yes, a second round in a row where the Grayscales have outpaced Team Sunrise. It's not looking good for our runners-up so far, but 8 rounds to go. They can still come back here. Is that Son Crew battling? They'll drop on through into 3rd place. Team Mayhem, after leading for so long, will drop on 2nd place, and the White Knights will get 1st place and the full 16 points for the second round. Now, how does this shake up the standings for this event? We'll have to see. Wonder of the Party Crashers 5th after getting 1st in the first round. That means they will likely stay in front on top provisionally after the second round. How does it go here? Yeah, Wonder at 28 points. Grayscales are in net 4th position, and Warmth all the way down in 14th. They really need to be racking up those good top 3, top 4 results, does Warmth here, and hope that the Grayscales, the opposite happens for them, because as it stands, they'll have no chance of winning this championship. The Marauders, as it stands, would vault 2 teams into 3rd place and have that final auto qualification spot directly to Season 6, and our defending champions would love to see that after slipping away in the past few events. The Marauders really want that 3rd place spot, and off they go now in round number 3. Team Sunrise seems to be one of the final marbles to enter the funnel in the blue. We'll see if that really helps them. It's a huge jumbo though, that starting gate really won't advantage any of these marbles, and Team Sunrise are already plummeting. Oh! Grayscales have fallen in funnel 4! The Grayscales are going to get a dead last finish in this round. They absolutely need this to see Team Sunrise, as that will give them a little bit of a lifeline. Of course, so much more work to be done even with this loss for the Grayscales, but how far can Team Sunrise go? They don't have to worry about the Grayscales getting any points in this round. The Blue Brigade are down below battling, I think that is with Team Mayhem down below. Team Sunrise are still not in a great position. They need to use those collisions, make use of how densely packed these funnels are compared to other funnel events, and make a comeback here. And as it stands, Team Sunrise has so much work to do. They really want to make good use of this round to make up ground on the Grayscales. It's not happening so far. Up top, many yellow and tan teams battling for the overall victory in this round. The Cheese Balls also still playing for that playoff spot in 1st place right now. This is not the first round. We're seeing them high up there in the funnels. And Team Sunrise already finished here. They're not going to be gaining much ground on the Grayscales at all. Team Sunrise definitely not going to surpass the Grayscales in the standings for this event after this round, though they will cut in that lead at least a few points. Wonder once again excelling in the funnels. They're in another top 4 finish here in this 3rd round, and they look surefire for a medal here in this event. They can just not fall apart from this point. Wonder is going to have 3 top 5s in a row to start this event. They'll be beaten by, that's the Rosemaries in first place. But Wonder is making it harder and harder for Warmth to get the win in this final event. And there you can see the Grayscales, losing out. They will have had a little bit of time to rest, thankfully for them, and maybe get back to winning ways in this 4th round. But as it stands, Team Sunrise still have so much work to do, and they are losing time here in this final. Yeah, Wonder has been consistent, 10 points clear of second place Crazy Chickens, who are last place in the standings, hoping to avoid that. And right now, Warmth, 16th place in the event here. There's where the Grayscales fell off. It does not really matter for them. How Team Sunrise has been performing in this event, the Grayscales seem to cruise to a championship here so far. Of course, it's not over yet. Still only 3 rounds done, 30% of this event done. There's still so much that can happen, but Team Sunrise, really, they need to be starting to rack up those good performances from this point on. And now they can't guarantee bad finishes for Grayscales anymore in any of these rounds. Grayscales and Team Sunrise, I believe, are both still up there. Now Grayscales have fallen a little bit. They're still in that first, now dropped onto the 3rd orange funnel, and Team Sunrise, is that them in the top blue funnel? Team Sunrise has finally got off to a good start here. Can they hold it though? Avoid those collisions further down. There's so much energy that we want to save in this event. Have Team Sunrise been doing that? Have they been saving it up while all of these marbles have been expending their energy in the early rounds? We'll only have to wait and see. But off they go here. They've really put themselves on the back foot in terms of points. One marble is well ahead. That's Lagoon Platoon up top. They're well ahead of the rest of the teams here. If they can avoid that contact with those 3 marbles in that funnel below, they'll be in a great position here, but they can't quite do it, and they'll get knocked down into a funnel further down. Popsicles look to be finishing here. Where are the Grayscales? They're once again in the mid-pack here, making up decent ground for that last round here. And they're making good use of the contact once again to get some more positions. I think Team Sunrise still Team Sunrise in first place? I believe that's either them or the Crazy Chickens. It's quite hard to tell. But if Team Sunrise can hold on to this victory, that is absolutely needed for Warmth here. Wonder for once isn't having the greatest of showing. Still decent finish for them, which is going to make it very hard for anyone to challenge them for the overall gold. And the Grayscales, yet another good finish for them. They're back to their good finishes in these races. Team Sunrise, that is them in second place. Seeing if they can get the win here. They're going to be pushed down though into 4th. So decent finish for Warmth here, but only 1 spot ahead of the Grayscales in this round. They still have so much work to do in the final 6 rounds of this event. Still, if not gaining on the Grayscales, they're gaining on several other teams doing poorly in this round. Much needed 13 points for Warmth, but Shady is putting in the consistency. Aside from that crash, Grayscales have been the class of the field here, along with the Party Crashers. Crazy Chickens also having a great event thus far, hoping to get a medal in this final event. They're the only team, I believe, that doesn't have a medal in this season. Party Crashers only 3 points now clear of the Crazy Chickens, and as it stands, Grayscales are looking to cruise to a 2nd championship. In fact, Honeycombs now vaulted provisionally ahead of Team Sunrise. Marauders also, and Party Crashers vaulted into 5th provisionally. So Team Sunrise not even coming close at this point, as the Grayscales comfortable out in front. It's just a matter of bringing it home now. The trepidation on the Grayscales fans is turning into cheers, it's turning into excitement as we get closer and closer to the halfway point of this event here. And off they go here. How long will it be until it's pretty much a done deal? Team Sunrise has fallen once again in these orange funnels. The Grayscales haven't got off to the best of starts, but they're still ahead of Team Sunrise. Wonder, yet again, is off to a great start. You just can't stop Wonder in these funnels here. They'll drop on now through the first orange funnel, so not the best start in the orange, but still they're in a great position overall compared to most of the marbles. And the Grayscales also once again continuing their consistency in the mid-pack here. Team Sunrise is nowhere to be seen towards the top of the field, and it's looking increasingly dire for them. Popsicles and Lagoon Platoon high up there. It's very sparsely packed higher up there, and now they start to hope to avoid those collisions to join the marbles down below. Where is Team Sunrise? We're seeing them. I believe that's them with the Blue Brigade and the Rosemaries. As we start to get our first finishers here, Croissant Crew are going to drop on through. I think that's Wonder that's completely fallen apart. Party Crashers, for once, are not going to do that well here. The Grayscales are bringing it back yet again, now once again in the top 4. Now they drop on through once again, but the Grayscales, they have been so consistent here. And that's really all they've needed to do for this entire final event. Just be consistent, just ensure yourself a top 10 finish, and it doesn't even matter what Team Sunrise does. The Grayscales will secure themselves a second championship. Team Sunrise is already done. How far can the Grayscales go here? They will drop on through into the final funnel. Battling with the Popsicles, I don't think they're going to make contact in time. And in fact, Cheese Balls will join them. Lagoon Platoon will join them. I believe that's the Crazy Chickens, who yet again are doing well here. They'll drop on through before the Grayscales, and the Grayscales will get the win here in this 5th round. So, Team Sunrise, it's gone even worse for them here, as the Grayscales are just so consistent and finally have gotten themselves a victory here at the halfway point of this event. Is it already done deal for Team Sunrise? Of course, it's really not over until we see it on the scoreboard. The Crazy Chickens, as it stands, have vaulted above the Party Crashers for provisional first, and the Grayscales in 4th place. They are looking to seal it here. They're looking to cruise to this championship. As it stands, yep, they would be ahead of Team Sunrise by provisionally 28 points. Really, the story of the season thus far. But looking down below, Honeycombs have overtaken the Marauders as well, back for that auto-qualification spot. So lots of battles going on for those auto-qualification spots and for the overall playoff spots from 4 to 8. Remember, it's 4 to 8 that go to the playoffs with the top 3 of the B League that we saw not too long ago. Now if they go here to start the second half of this event. Team Sunrise is off to a decent start this time, but is it already too little too late? The Grayscale might be letting off the gas a little bit, and now they know they have such a good cushion here in the event standings thus far. And the Lagoon Platoon, Citrus Sprinters seem to be emerging in the top spot so far. I think Team Sunrise finally sees themselves towards the top of the field. Will they be able to get a goal? If they win this round, if they do well in this round and the Grayscales do poorly, which they seem to be doing in this round, of course, it's still so much work to be done for Team Sunrise, but it makes those chances at least slightly possible going to the final few rounds of this event. And Lagoon Platoon is that, or is that the Marauders well up there in that first funnel? Now they join a couple of marbles, but it's really sparsely packed. As we get later and later in these rounds, I'm noticing it becomes really densely packed, and with no green funnel, it becomes so hard to come back if you're all the way down below. These marbles need to keep that in mind. They need to prioritize getting decent starts and decent performances in the mid-pack. And now Team Sunrise is starting to make a comeback a little bit. They're now in a net 2nd place position in this round. The Grayscales are still racing though. They're still rolling. It looks to be a top half result yet again for the Grayscales here. So even if Team Sunrise, who have now taken the lead here, get the win here, they still have so much work to do. They're still not going to be gaining that much on Shady. 5 marbles left in this round here. The Grayscales, are they going to be made contact here? They do, but they do fall on through into 5th place. And Team Sunrise, can they hold on for the win? They're going to make contact with the White Knights. Warmth will be pushed on through. And, almost. I thought they would have gone through for 3rd place. They'll go on through for 2nd place as Milk secures the victory here in this round. But it's another good finish for Team Sunrise. Fortunately for them, even if they're bringing it back themselves in this event, the Grayscales are not stopping whatsoever. The Grayscales, I don't know if they've had any rounds here, aside from the one they crashed, that have finished bottom half or bottom 4. And so looking at the standings, Warmth 15 points to them, but Shady 12 points. Consistency has been the name of the game for our inaugural champions here. Down below, Wanderer continues to struggle. After a great start, are they perhaps losing energy now? They've now fallen completely out of the podium, and Grayscales now into 2nd place. The Crazy Chickens are looking from last place in the standings to win. Of course, they can't make the playoffs. They're the only team that can't. They're looking to get a last-ditch gold medal in this final event. And as it stands, the Grayscales are only extending their lead here. 194 points. They're going for the all-time best single season record here. The Green Peacocks in season 3, 184 points for them. If the Grayscales get 5th place minimum in this event, they will have the single best season of Tour de Endurance in terms of points. And they're really going for that now at this point, with how dire it's looking for Team Sunrise. Off we go now into the final few rounds of this event here and in the season as a whole. The Grayscales, it looks to be almost a formality at this point. It's not mathematically over, but really it's just a matter of keeping it up, keeping going to the end of the season here. Down below, Wanderer, is that Wanderer or is that Another marble that is well down there. I think the Team Sunrise yet again is struggling fairly down there. And Blue Brigade and Popsicles, who I keep seeing close to the top, are doing well in this event, in this round. The Grayscales, as we watch on through our home team, they are circling once again in the hot. They really do a good job, do the Grayscales, of making contact and making good use of how densely packed these funnels are in the mid-pack to get as many positions gained further down the course and get a good position and get consistent results in this event. And we're going to start seeing our first finishers here. Lagoon Platoon is done. White Knights are done. Team Sunrise, I believe they have came back a little bit. The Grayscales, yet again, just refuse to plummet and get poor finishes in this event. And looking at the lead there, is that the Crazy Chickens that seem to be in the lead yet again. Our provisional leaders of this event don't seem to stop. After a terrible season so far for defending third place finish, they're hoping to secure a gold medal in this finale. And down below, yeah, Team Sunrise is going to get roughly near the mid-pack. They do outpace the Grayscales, who fell apart a little bit towards the end. Still not close to the bottom as the Popsicles and Cheese Balls battle for this victory. Will the Cheese Balls make contact? No, they won't. Crazy Chickens will fall down in third place. Still, though, they're only going to extend their lead in this event. The Crazy Chickens could secure this gold medal before even the final round. And the Popsicles, very angular rotation here in that final funnel. They will secure the full 16 points here in the 7th round. With just 3 rounds to go, Team Sunrise, I think it's pretty much dire for them. It's pretty much done deal for them as the Grayscales, 9th place. Oh, it's looking very, very good for our home team. 71 points. They're in provisional third of the Grayscales. Crazy Chickens in first. I'll hold 12 points ahead of Citrus Sprinters second place. That's another team down below, close to last place in the standings. And the Citrus Sprinters, as it stands, are vaulting up 5 spots provisionally into that playoff spot. That would be great for the Citrus Sprinters. They really want to hold on to at least a silver in this event. Lagoon Platoon, White Knights, also fringe provisional playoffs teams here as we head into third to last round of this final event. And off they go here. You should really pay attention to those mid-pack results. With so many teams so close on points in the mid-pack, a single medal, a single gold can vault you up so many spots, as you've seen in the provisional results for this event. And Team Mayhem gets off to the best start in this 8th round. Where are the Grayscales here? They're mired in the mid-pack. Citrus Sprinters, we should also keep an eye on them. They need to hold on to that silver realistically to have any chance of staying in that provisional top half. So also for that final podium spot, the Honeycombs and the Marauders, those two are locked in a close battle. Popsicles also want to be joining in. Those 3 teams not out of it for that final 3rd place spot. Maybe even doing good enough to be 2nd place ahead of Team Sunrise. Team Sunrise continues to underperform, but this time Citrus Sprinters all the way down below in last, and they're going to fall down here. And that means Citrus Sprinters, that 2nd place provisionally in this event, is going to be very, very tepid as Citrus Sprinters get full just 1 point from this round. Looking higher up, Team Sunrise is doing well here. Oh! Jewel of the Crystal Pistols, who we haven't mentioned for most of this event, crashes out fairly late in this event. And higher up, it's Team Sunrise and Croissant Crew now battling for the victory in this round. The Grayscales seem to be done somewhere. Party Crashers, they want to make a late surge to get back higher up in the standings for this event. So if they see if they can get a medal in this event and vault themselves into the playoff spots. Team Sunrise, will they do good enough to get the win here? Warmth circling with the Blue Brigade with milk of the White Knights. I think Team Sunrise may fall down through. No, White Knights fall down through. Then it's going to be, I believe, Team Sunrise in 2nd place, and Blue Brigade will get the full 16 points from this 8th round. Just 2 more rounds to go in Tour de Endurance in Season 5. Blue Sky gets the win here in Round 8. Crystal Pistols, remember, if you get a crash, you will get 0 points for them. And so that gives Citrus Sprinters an extra point that will help them get 2nd place. And they drop down to 3rd. Wanderer with another good finish here in 5th place in this round. They go back up into 2nd place after round 8. We'll see how that puts the Party Crashers in the playoff provisional spots. As we wait for the update here, Party Crashers are, as it stands, vault up into second place. Really, if you get a medal, you have a great chance of vaulting into those playoff spots. Team Sunrise still in the net second position, and the Honeycombs still in third place as it stands, ahead of the Marauders. And now, 2 rounds to go here in Tour de Endurance in Season 5. Is the Grayscale, have they won already? We'll have to see. Oh, several marbles stuck in the starting mechanism. It's going to be a false start. We're going to do a rerun of this. Party Crashers, Team Mayhem, and the Marauders stuck in the starting mechanism there. We have to do a rerun. Ensure fairness. It's going to tire the marbles that went a little bit, but of course, officials are on top of it. We get started as soon as possible, and off they go this time. No false start this time. Yes, Honeycombs took their time. They're now through. You can see some marbles really dropping down quickly. You can tell the false start shook them up a little bit. Team Sunrise and the Grayscales are part of that group, and 3 marbles only are left in the blue front. Now 2. White Knights, a marble that has been surging up in this event in the later rounds. And Blue Brigade, the marble that just won the last round, now dropping down in last place. The Marauders also fairly down there. They still have some work to do if they want to get back into the provisional podium spots. Now Honeycombs, one of those marbles that got the best start in this round. They're fairly up there once again with the White Knights. Blue Brigade are really falling apart, fairly down in this event. They have a full funnel in between them and the next marbles. Now the Crystal Pistols closes that gap, but now Blue Brigade continue to plummet. And the White Knights and the Cheese Balls, those 2 solid color teams, are battling for the win here. Where are the Grayscales and where are Team Sunrise? The Grayscales actually now seem to be in 14th place is Shady. Of course, they are just letting off the gas at this point, it might be. Citrus Sprinters are fairly in the mid-pack. Where are the Party Crashers? Party Crashers, Citrus Sprinters, 2 teams that really are in a close battle for the podium here. And so as the Crazy Chickens seem to be securely in first place, it's really going to be a battle for second between those 2 teams, the Citrus Sprinters and the Party Crashers, and that could decide the playoff spots outright between those 2 teams. The Grayscale still running here in that final funnel. I'm not sure if they'll be able to hold on any more positions. No, they won't. The Grayscales will drop on through in, I believe, 6th place, as the White Knights and the Cheese Balls have been battling for much of this event. Cheese Balls will fall in 4th, and the Crazy Chickens yet again will get 2nd place. The Crazy Chickens might secure their victory after this round outright, as the White Knights will get 1st. The Crazy Chickens will, I believe, be so far ahead of 2nd place, it might be a done deal for them already. And Milk just really taking their time here. There's still 1 round to go, remember, in this event. And now, as we get closer and closer to the final round of this event in Tour de Endurance, it's all on the line here now. Leave nothing on the table. Spin for as long as you can. Spin, even if it means you'll never be able to spin after this, as Mace gets the full 16 points in this round 9 here. Let's see what it does to the standings. The Crazy Chickens have secured it. The Crazy Chickens have secured the victory in this event. That's huge for the team. Dead last in the standings. As it stands, White Knights and the Party Crashers, they're in 2nd and 3rd. The Grayscales still higher up there. The Grayscales in 1st place, well ahead of Team Sunrise. The White Knights, as it stands, have vaulted everyone into 3rd place. Look at this. Everyone down to 143. So many teams within 10 points of each other provisionally for the final 3rd place. Well, there's so much going on in the auto qualification battle and in the playoff battle. And off they go now for the final time in Season 5. Who gets off to the best start? Lagoon Platoon seems to have the best start. Wonder Party Crashers, a team you need to keep your eye on, and the Grayscales, it's just a formality at this point, but they are having a good start as well for them here. The Crazy Chickens, what a job by them. After the Cheese Balls had their moment in the previous event, the Crazy Chickens have had their moment in this event, and the Citrus Sprinters are doing well yet again, as Sinensis has the lead now. That could be huge for the Citrus Sprinters to hold on to that provisional playoff spot. They're battling with, is that Team Sunrise or is that the Crazy Chickens? That might be Team Sunrise, I believe, who's just trying to hold on to a podium spot at this point as we get to the mid part of this final round. But Citrus Sprinters hold on to that lead here. They're battling with the 2 championship protagonists here, as the Citrus Sprinters will fall on through. Grayscales and Team Sunrise battling in that same funnel. And down below, the Rosemaries are going to drop on through. They'll be finishing last in this last round. Then it's the Cheese Balls. Couldn't match the form they had in the last round. Several of the teams are going to be piling on here, but as they do it, the Grayscales, 4 years ago, they were the first to scale the mountain that is Tour de Endurance, and now, 4 years later, they will scale the mountain yet again and plant flag number 2 in front of home crowd that is absolutely thrilled and have been cheering them on this entire time as they take the lead. Does Shady here ahead of the Senensians. Blue Brigade and the Crystone crew are battling down there in the final funnel. Will Grayscales hold on for the victory here just to secure it in their whole season? Blue Brigade fought on through. Crazy Chickens are going to drop on through. It's a battle between these two models. Grayscales won't get the win. It will be second place for them. But that is enough to secure the Grayscales their second championship in Tour de Endurance. Grayscales are your Tour de Endurance Season 5 champions. Second place in this final round will secure it ahead of Team Sunrise. That is just so poetic here. Second and third for them in this final round. And Senensis gets another one over on the Grayscales in this final event. That will be enough for them to go in third. The Grayscales go up into second for this event here. No one could touch the Crazy Chickens, but the home fans are going raucous all around the stadium and outside of it. The cheers are going to be heard as the Grayscales have made history here today in Tour de Endurance. Well done to Shady here, well done to Senensis. That final stand here, they love their finales, they love their final events to Senensis. But it's the Grayscales day here today, here at their home stadium. They have won it all, and they are legendary in the history books of not just Tour de Endurance, but of marble sports as a whole. From myself, Ramen Powder, and of course on behalf of the man himself, Big Jangus, thank you so much for watching what has been another stupendous season of Tour de Endurance. We'll be seeing 8 of these teams in the playoffs for the final auto-qualification spot whenever that may happen, but even sooner, we'll see our newly crowned champions, the Grayscales, in the 3rd season of the Marble Invites, so stay tuned for that. On this channel, next on the docket is Terrain Marble Trials Season 3, and then the 6th season of Tour de Endurance. Lots more to come, but for now, enjoy the closing ceremony. So long, everyone.